Hello everyone, this is Daniel Stigman, and today I'm going to be doing another KTANE module tutorial, this time on Fractal Maze by Obvious. There was originally a tutorial for this module, however the previous uploader took it down for their own reasons. This module does not require any edge work at all, so with that being said, let's just get started. I forgot to generate the string for this, give me 1 second. There we go. Let's get going.
In reality, all
available experts, please report to room A9.
Here is Fractal Maze. Here you can see there are 3 coloured squares and then a diamond which will be used for traversing the module. This module is actually a maze module, and we will see as we get into the experting side of this. The diffusing side, however, is really simple. For now, all we need is these coloured squares here. Essentially, what these coloured squares represent is a 2-dimensional fractal that we have here in iteration 0. And our objective is to expand this fractal to iteration 3, and then navigate through each of the iterations to eventually reduce this fractal to the -1st iteration, which would essentially just be a square. So it starts off as a 2x2. There will always be one tile that's empty. Not necessarily the bottom left tile, as it is with our module. It could be the top left, it could be the top right, it could be the bottom right, and in our case, it could be the bottom left. However, it is important that the expert knows which tile is empty so that they can create the fractal. So, with that being said, let's switch over to the experting side. This is how the manual looks. It is just a lot of text. I'm not going to be reading all of this. I'm just going to explain this my own way for the most part. Once you get it down, you really don't need to read this manual, and that's the beauty of Obvious's manuals typically. You never need to go back to the manuals when you know them. You kind of just remember how they work. And that's what happened with Decay, which is my first tutorial that I uploaded and kept up. I did have a tutorial before that, which was Kugel Blitz, but that has a table in it, so you have to go back to the manual, unless you memorize the table. Anyway, with that being said, let's get on with the tutorial. All right, so for this module, all the expert needs is the 2x2 arrangement on the module. So we have blue, yellow, blank, magenta, not to be misconstrued with black. So you could say blue, yellow, empty, magenta. That's all the expert needs from the diffuser, so we can just get rid of that. We don't need it. Alright, so what is a fractal, you may ask? Well, all a fractal is, in simple terms, is a image that when multiplied several times produces a picture that when zoomed in on will replicate itself. We're going to take that concept and we're going to make a maze out of it. However, we're not just going to copy-paste this seed over and over again. No. What we're going to do is we're going to modify the seed in each respective quadrant. And I'll explain this now with my tool of choice, Paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I've already made it a 64 by 64 pixel diagram, which is what I recommend for this. If you're going to use Paint, make it as small of a resolution as you can so that you can add fine details to it with ease. So I've already done that, and I've made it 64 by 64. In order to do that, all you have to do is just go to the resize tool, set it to pixels, and then turn off the maintain aspect ratio, because typically it'll come up as 1280 by 720, and if you were to type in 64, then it would not allow you to, and it would just make a higher value in order to make the vertical 64 pixels. Because 64 by 64 is the smallest sort of resolution you can have in Microsoft Paint. I would use paint.net, but I don't have it installed at the moment. So with that being said, we have a 64 by 64 diagram, and what we're going to do is in the very top left, the top left 4 pixels we're going to set to those colors that we have noted down. Blue, yellow, I'm going to make this one gray, and magenta. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's start off with the blue color. Let's just make it solid blue. That goes into the top left. And then we're going to make the yellow color go into the, let's just make sure that's pure yellow. About as pure as it can get. Let's make it that. There we go. Blue, yellow, and then we want magenta. There we go. That's going to go there. Oops, not there. Right there. And then grey, that's just going to be 127, 127, 127. There we go. And let's just throw that there. There we go. Now we have our fractal, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're just going to enlarge it so we can see it a bit better. Yoink. There we go. And now we have iteration 0 of our fractal. What we need to do is we need to get to iteration 3. So, in order to do that, we're going to take this entire diagram, so we're going to select the whole thing, we're going to copy it, and then we're going to paste it over each iteration. But with each paste that we do, we're going to manipulate it based off of the red, green, and blue component channels located within these. So, of course, the colors that can be shown on this module are your standard RGB colors. Black, red, green, blue, cyan, magenta, yellow, and white. And we're going to break these down into their individual RGB components. So let's see, blue is just blue, so 001. I'll do this at the top. Yellow is red and green, so that's 110. Grey we're just going to ignore. And magenta is red and blue, so 101. So what each of these means is for each color that is present, each of these primary components that are present in our color, we're going to transform the respective quadrant in a specific way. So the way we do these is red component tells us to flip the fractal vertically, so via the y-axis. Green tells us to flip horizontally via the x-axis, and blue just simply tells us to rotate the whole thing 90 degrees clockwise. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do this to our fractal. So, our first thing, we just have this blue quadrant, so we're going to take this thing, we're going to copy and paste it over the top left, and then we're going to take this, I shouldn't have deselected, give me a second. So we're going to take this, and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees clockwise. So let's go ahead and right-click this selection, and just rotate it 90 degrees clockwise. There we go. And now we're going to do the same thing, but with the top right quadrant. So we're going to paste, and then move it over to the top right. And now we have yellow this time. So with yellow, what we need to do is combine the red and green components together. So we need to flip it vertically, and then we need to flip it horizontally. So let's do just that. Flip vertically, and then flip horizontally. Also, my apologies, flipping vertically means flipping over the x-axis, and flipping horizontally means flipping over the y-axis. My apologies for that. Essentially, what this means is we've kind of just rotated the whole thing 180 degrees. So, really, what you can just do is rotate it 180 degrees, or just 90 degrees clockwise twice, and you have yourself the same result. And now we're going to do the same thing, but with the bottom right quadrant. We're not going to mess with the bottom left, because that has to be empty for this to work. And now we're going to use magenta's rule, And magenta tells us to use the red and blue components, which is a vertical flip and a 90-degree rotation. So let's do that. We're going to flip vertically, and then we're going to rotate 90 degrees. There we are. And now we have iteration 1 of our fractal. So now we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to copy this, we're going to paste it over, and then we're going to put it in the top left quadrant over here. And we're going to do the exact same thing. So blue is rotate 90 degrees. Then we're going to go over here. And we're going to flip it vertically and flip it horizontally. And then we're going to do the same thing down here. And we're going to flip it vertically. And then we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. And that's iteration 2. And then we're going to copy paste it again to make iteration 3. So, there we go. We're going to flip, we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. Then we're going to paste it up here into the top right. There we are. We're going to flip that vertically and then flip it horizontally. And we're going to paste it down here. There we go. And then we're going to flip this vertically. And then we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. And there we go. We have our completed fractal. This is iteration 3 of a fractal. If you ever wanted to make your own fractals, you can go further and further and further to as much detail as you want. However, for the purposes of this module, we only have to do 3 iterations. So, the way to tell that this has worked is to make sure that each tile has a size of 4 by 4, and therefore the fractal dimensions should be 16 by 16. So that's the dimensions of the maze at the moment. They should be 16 by 16. That's how you can tell that you've got it. So now let's go back to our diffuser, and this is where we get to the solving process. Alright, now that we have our maze, the diffuser is going to tell us 2 locations. And this is going to be represented by these colours flashing on the diamond, red and green. 2 segments are going to flash red, and 2 segments are going to flash green. If those 2 segments overlap, they will appear yellow on such a segment. And this tells us which portion of the of our current zoom that we have to look at. To put that in better words, I'll demonstrate exactly what I mean. So, in order to find where we're starting in this maze, we need to look at where red is located. So, first off, the up and left tiles were lit red, so that means we're starting off in somewhere in the top left. So that means we're somewhere in here. We're in here somewhere. And then after that, let's just wait for it to cycle round. The next iteration is top right. So that means we're somewhere in here. Because we're in the top left of the whole thing. And then within this, we're in the top right of it. And then within this, we are in the top left. So that means we're in any of these 3 tiles here. And then last but not least, of this region, we're in the top left. And therefore, we're starting right here. So that's our starting location. Top left, top right, top left, top left. So let's go ahead and put a little red tile over here. There we go. So there's our little starting location. And then we're going to do the same thing, but with green. Green tells us our exit. And as it just so happens, bottom right, bottom right, bottom right, bottom right. We're starting all the way in the very bottom right. So let's pull out my green color. I'll make this one red. There we go. And then we're starting all the way down here. Oh no, we're going all the way down here is what I mean. So now we have to navigate from here all the way down here. Alright. So let's take a step right. There we go. So now we're over here. And then we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps down. So there we go. And then we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps right. Then we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps down. And then we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 steps right. Then 2 steps down and 1 step right. And we'll know this works when we hear a higher pitched sound, as so. There you go. That higher pitched sound tells us that it's worked, and now it's reduced itself to iteration 2. And then we do the exact same thing over. So what we're going to do is we're going to undo all of these additions that I added, and then we're going to reduce this from iteration 3 to iteration 2 just by undoing. 1, 2, 3. Now we're in iteration 2. And now we do the same thing over and over again, but we're only going to have three divisions as opposed to 4 from earlier. So this is bottom right, bottom right, bottom right. So we're starting down here. Great. And it wants us to go to top right, top left, top right. So somewhere up here, somewhere around here, then in here, and specifically here. That was top right, top left, top right. So for this one, all we have to do is just go up, left, left, and then just up until you hear a higher pitched sound. So let's do that. Up, left, left. There you go. And now we're going to do the same thing, undo all this, and reduce it to iteration 1. There we go. And now it tells us to go top right and top left. So we are up here, or rather here. And then we want to get to top right, bottom left. So that's just here. So we just go down. There we go. And then for the last iteration, you can navigate the expert in the last iteration. You can navigate the diffuser in the last iteration. However, you might as well, if the diffuser knows what they're doing, they have iteration 0 right here, so they can just take top right, which is over here, and bottom right, which is over here, and just make the navigation themselves. You only make it at most 2 moves anyway. You're either making 1 or 2 moves. In this case, all we have to do is go down to solve the module. And there we go. The diamond goes completely green, and the fractal is created to the 5th iteration. And that is the solving of the module, Fractal Maze. Let's do one more example, because I love this module, honestly. It's so good. I love doing this module. I could do it forever. It looks so cool. I love it. Anyway, with that being said, let's do another one. Okay, our new fractal this time is red, magenta, green, empty. So let's do just that. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. We have red in the top left, then magenta in the top right, green in the bottom left, and then just the empty tile in the bottom right. So let's do ahead with this. There we go. And then we're going to select the whole thing and paste it over the top left. There we go. And we're going to flip it vertically. And then we're going to paste it over the top right. And we're going to flip it vertically and rotate it 90 degrees. And we're going to paste it over the bottom right. And we're going to flip that horizontally. Then we're going to select the whole thing. There we go. We're going to flip it vertically. Then we're going to flip this one vertically and rotate it 90 degrees. Then we're going to put it down here and we're going to rotate it horizontally. Then we're going to select the whole thing, paste it, put it down here. We're going to flip it vertically. Then we're going to flip this one vertically and rotate it 90 degrees. And then we're going to flip this one horizontally. There we go. And now that we have that, we have a different looking maze. So let's go ahead and navigate this one. So we have, whenever this resets, top left, top left, top right, top left. So we're somewhere, let me pull out my pencil. We're somewhere up here. Let me get a better color. There we go. We're somewhere up here. Then we're in... let's see. Hang on. Have I made it too far? No, looks fine. So hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're somewhere around here. And then we're in the top left of here, so let me just figure that out. Hang on. I'm having a bit of a brain fart. There we go. So we're up here, and then we're up in the top right of here, and then in the top left. So we're up here. So that's where we are. And we need to get to bottom left, bottom right, bottom left, top right. So bottom left is down here, bottom right is down here. Just make sure. Yeah, so bottom left, bottom right, bottom left, top right. So we're right here. That's where we are. Oh no, that's where we need to go. Sorry, I'm like I'm half awake right now. So let's navigate this one. We're gonna go down twice. So we're now here. Then we're gonna go left. So we're here. And then we're gonna go down, left, down, down, down. Then we're gonna go right, down, down, down. Then we go right, down, right, down, right. Then we're going to go down, 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 right. There we go. There we go. Now we have that. We're going bottom left, bottom right, bottom left. That's where we are. So we're down here, then we're down here, we're down here. And we need to get to basically the opposite side. Top right, top left, top right. The absolute opposite. Top right, top left, top right. So we need to get over here. So we need to go up, up, right, up, up. And then right, up, up. There we go. And now it wants us to go top right, top left. So we're up here. I'm going to mark it blue just so you can see it a bit better. So we're here. And we need to get to bottom left, top left. So we need to get to here. So that's just down, left, left, down. And then the last phase we can just do bottom left to top left. So up once. And there we go. Hey guys, Dan here from the future. I made a bit of a boo-boo during the tutorial, and I forgot to bring my sound back in OBS. I kind of had it on mute, like this. I kind of had it on mute the whole time. So, just to reiterate, the sounds that the module makes are like so. So let me just do a demonstration. I have a third fractal here, which I just created in my own time. And let's just quickly navigate this one just to reiterate what I meant by the sounds. So, let's do this quickly. Top left, top right, top left, so that means we're over here. There we are, we're right here. Top left, top right, bottom right. So we need to get here. So these are the sounds. So that's the sound that you hear while navigation, while in navigation. So right, down, 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 then right, 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 up. That sound indicates that you've reached the goal of your current iteration. Sorry about that. Let's just finish this off though, because I love this module. We're now in iteration 2. So we're going top left, top right. So that's over here. And we need to get to bottom left, bottom right, bottom left. So we need to get here. This lowest tile right here. So down, 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 left, down, down, down. Okay. And now we need to do bottom left, bottom right. So that's over from here. For bottom left, top right. So just up. And then last but not least, bottom left to top right.
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
And that's the solve module. Alright, thank you everybody for tuning into this tutorial on Fractal Maze. I hope this is helpful to you. If you did enjoy this tutorial and want to see more tutorials from me, feel free to drop a like and a comment down below. Feel free to subscribe to me if you want to see more challenge bombs and tutorials. I upload on a kind of need-to-know basis. However, I will try to keep posting in the community tab where possible. So please check that out if you want to see further updates. I may also live stream challenge bombs on my Twitch channel, so feel free to follow me there if you want to see my antics live. And additionally, feel free to join the KTANE Discord server, the public Discord server, which I will link in the description below. You can contact me there. You can find my name pretty easily. It'll be Daniel Stigman as usual. And there I will regularly be in the VCs if you want to chat with me about modules, or maybe about the Fractal Maze tutorial, or any of my other tutorials in case you have any further questions. So with that being said, that's Daniel Stigman signing off, and I'll see you all in whenever I upload next. Ciao ciao!